Bonjour, je suis Aurélien, je suis l'agent de Warwick, donc je vais m'occuper de traduire Warwick du mieux possible, sachant que je ne suis quand même pas un traducteur professionnel non plus. Voilà, donc je vais faire mon mieux, donc je ne sais pas par qui on commence.
So if you have a question, then yeah, just I guess raise your hand. Otherwise, I will just speak.
What are your current projects?
Currently, I'm working on all sorts of things. Because of the recent projects, things like Life's Too Short, I've been offered quite a lot of different ideas to develop. So I'm developing some documentary series, serious and funny. I'm about to start a theatre company called the Reduced Height Theatre Company, which will be a group of actors who are all short, including myself, doing classic plays that we've always wanted to do. I have a YouTube channel called The Multiverse, producing original sci-fi, geek entertainment, and I'm producing 2 series for that, plus lots of other things as well. Of course, I have my game Pocket Warwick, which is still an ongoing development process. Even though the game's out, I'm continuing to kind of move it forward. Can you remember all of this?
No, nothing.
I'll remind you of the
Okay.
things. You go ahead and take it up to there.
Donc oui, beaucoup de projets, parce que c'est vrai que c'est quelqu'un qui travaille énormément. Donc le premier, c'est toujours Life Too Short, sa série qui est sortie l'année dernière. Donc peut-être une deuxième saison. Il travaille aussi sur beaucoup de documentaires. Et si je me souviens bien, une troupe aussi de théâtre avec des personnes de petite taille. Donc, voilà, et également documentary, the theatre and
The Reduced Height Theatre Company,
Yeah.
the Multiverse channel,
Okay.
done that, Pocket Warwick.
Ok, the Pocket Warwick. Pocket Warwick, et c'est une application iPhone, voilà, que vous pouvez trouver, c'est gratuit, c'est avec plein de petits jeux sympas. Donc voilà, donc, oui, toujours plein de projets en cours au théâtre, à la télévision, en film, etc.
I'm also getting ready to host Star Wars Celebration Europe in Essen, Germany at the end of July. So I'll be handling all the on-stage entertainment. I'm interviewing all of the other Star Wars guests, and I can't announce any at the moment. We've got some really big names lined up to come to the show, and this is the only official Star Wars event that there is in Europe, and it's the largest of its kind. And so if you're into Star Wars, it's certainly the place to be at the end of July.
Donc sinon, il sera dès la fin juillet, du 26 au 28 juillet à Essen, en Allemagne. Donc c'est la plus grosse convention Star Wars où il y aura énormément d'acteurs, notamment Ian McDiarmid qui joue l'empereur et donc est assez rare dans les conventions. Et il sera maître de cérémonie, donc il sera présent pour animer les événements durant ces 3 jours. Voilà, donc si vous voulez venir en Allemagne le rejoindre, c'est donc 26, 27, 28 juillet à Essen.
Good, and that's about it at the moment. I mean, of any interest. It's interesting sitting here. I think it feels like I'm in court. Not that I've ever been in court, but it feels a bit like a courtroom, doesn't it? And if I had it as my defence attorney, I'd probably just plead guilty now. Yes.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Donc Willow est ressorti donc en coffret Blu-ray DVD. Il se trouve plus sexy en SD ou en HD?
Okay.
He said sexy in there,
Yeah,
I
he
think.
said sexy.
I can speak French.
Okay, he said sexy because you know that it's the 25th anniversary of Willow, and there is
And
a
I'm
new...
still sexy.
Yeah, you are still
That's what he was
sexy.
saying.
There is a remastered version of Willow, so are you more sexy in this new version than the old one?
Good. I'm glad that this barrier is in between us here. Of course, I'm much more sexy in high definition. Of course, the Blu-ray is amazing. In fact, if you haven't seen it, do check it out because it's you see things in the film that you've never seen before because it's so crisp. It's it probably looks as good, if not better, than it did when it was originally released in 1988. The sound has been remastered for it, and the reason they had to do work on the sound is because cinema sound systems in '88 weren't as good as home cinema sound is today, so they had to work on that, otherwise people would have been disappointed in that. But there's also great features on there, extra ones. My video diary is something I'm particularly proud of. These were videos that I shot while we were making the film all those years ago, and simply just put the tapes away in my attic of my house. And when I heard they were going to do a Blu-ray, I said, how about we do something with these? And they were delighted to include them. So there's a really unique sort of look at the making the film from my personal perspective.
Ok.
You made notes, good work.
Oui, donc oui, bien sûr, il se trouve beaucoup plus sexy, et comme il disait, donc cette nouvelle version, ça permet surtout de voir beaucoup plus de détails qu'on n'a pas vus à l'époque, que même lui-même n'avait pas vu. Et c'est vrai que c'est notamment une chose qui a été travaillée en plus de l'image, c'est le son qui n'était pas d'excellente qualité aujourd'hui, qu'on peut retrouver parce qu'il a été remasterisé. Et le gros avantage de ce DVD, c'est vrai que c'est souvent les bonus, mais c'est ce qu'il aime bien faire, parce qu'il l'avait fait pendant Star Wars, au Retour du Jedi, c'est de faire un reportage pendant le tournage et de pouvoir finalement l'inclure dans ce DVD. Donc vous avez un DVD avec un inclus de Warwick Davis qui correspond au petit film qu'il avait fait à l'époque.
Good.
Hi. If there was a sequel of Willow, would you be interested in taking the role again?
Yeah, most definitely, yeah. Willow was an amazing experience for me as an actor, and you know, judging by the response even at this event, you know, the film is still immensely popular, celebrating 25 years with the DVD, and it's a film that we could do more because, you know, we've established the settings and the characters, and it's really down to what adventure is next. And I suppose it'd be interesting to go back now, all these years later, because, you know, we would see whether Willow has become a good sorcerer or not. You know, what's happened to Mad Martigan? Has the Princess Loredan grown up to rule the kingdom as she should have done, or has something happened there? You know, there's lots of questions, and it'd be fun to go back and visit that place. Recently working on Life's Too Short with Val Kilmer, the special that we did, he and I discussed that quite a bit, you know, the fact that would we do another one, and we said perhaps we need to go to New Zealand with a video camera, me and him, and just shoot some stuff and send it to George in his retirement and see what he thinks. Maybe Disney will pick it up, who knows.
Donc oui, il aimerait bien refaire Willow. C'est vrai qu'après 25 ans, c'est toujours populaire. Nous, on le voit ici, tous les gens viennent pour Willow. Et c'est vrai que ça serait intéressant de voir un petit peu comment les personnages ont évolué. Dans sa série Life Too Short, comme vous savez, il reçoit des personnalités. Et il était, il y a encore quelques mois, avec Val Kilmer. C'est vrai qu'il discutait de ça. Ça l'intéresserait aussi, et pourquoi pas retourner en Nouvelle-Zélande, parce qu'en fait le film a été tourné en Nouvelle-Zélande, et d'y retourner pour avoir des prises de vue, pour faire des prises de vue, et ensuite les revendre peut-être à Ron Howard ou à Disney, puisque Disney rachète tout. Donc voilà, donc pourquoi pas. I said that Disney buy everything now, so why not Disney?
Thank you. Baroness, any more questions from anyone? Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about your collaboration with Ricky Gervais?
Yeah, working with Ricky Gervais. I've worked with Ricky on 3 different projects now so far. First of all, there was Extras all those years ago, the episode I did with Daniel Radcliffe. Then came Life's Too Short, and the series, and more recently the special. And then there was the Idiot Abroad 3 with him and Carl Wilkinson. And all of those experiences have been great. I mean, Ricky and Stephen, they're fabulous to work with. And we have such fun when we do what we do together. It almost doesn't feel like work, although Life's Too Short is really hard work. There's a lot of lines and a lot of stuff to do. Comedy is one of the hardest genres to work in. You'd think it would be the easiest, but you know, just getting every little nuance right to make it the funniest it can be is quite a challenge often. But yeah, we enjoy collaborating together, and hopefully in the future there'll be some more stuff we can do together. Yeah, it's really. Do you have Idiot Abroad 3 in France? I don't think. No. I mean, Life's Too Short, has that shown here, or just DVDs and stuff? It's weird. You guys need to get that sort of thing. Yeah, it's sorted. But no, I'm very proud of all of the stuff that I've done with Ricky. I think he's a very clever man. When you know him, he's really very clever, and knows exactly what he's doing, and him and Stephen's writing is such a dream to perform as well. You get a script from them, and it just comes off the page so easily, you know, as a performer. Where not all scripts are like that. Some scripts you look at and you just have to work so hard to make them anything, but their scripts are just a gift for an actor, certainly. Oh, cadeau, that's a gift, isn't it? No, I remember, it's all my French is coming back together. Couteau was a knife, we did that at breakfast. Yeah, yeah, translate what I just said.
Donc oui, il adore travailler avec lui. Il a eu 3 projets, dont Life Too Short. C'est vrai que, comme il dit, c'est un vrai plaisir de travailler avec lui parce que c'est quelqu'un qui travaille beaucoup, qui est très méticuleux, sérieux. Et c'est vrai que quand on lui présente un script, le script est parfait. Quelquefois sur d'autres projets, les scripts ont besoin d'être revus et tout, mais là, le scénario, pardon, pas le script. Le scénario est parfait, il n'y a plus qu'à travailler dessus. Et c'est vrai qu'il a adoré, surtout sur Life Too Short, même si, comme il dit, la comédie, finalement, c'est peut-être un challenge, c'est peut-être la chose la plus difficile à travailler. Mais voilà, il en garde une super expérience. Il espère continuer à travailler avec lui, même s'il sait que Ricky est quand même très occupé.
Good. That was quick then, you said everything then, did you? Yeah, maybe you forgot something, yeah, okay. Great. Do you have any more questions, anyone? Yes, thank you up there.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Vous avez récemment tourné dans Doctor Who. J'aimerais savoir ce que vous pourriez nous dire de l'épisode.
Okay, you worked recently in Doctor Who, that's correct?
Doctor Who?
Doctor Who?
I like Doctor Who though.
That you did.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so she wants to know how
Okay.
you feel about the episode that you filmed.
No, working in Doctor Who was a dream for me. It's a career ambition, in fact. It's something I've always wanted to do, and I've been talking about it for years, and nobody's ever listened. But finally, late last year, an episode was written in which I required my acting skills. It was an episode by a writer called Neil Gaiman, who is well known for writing brilliant stuff, and he won an award, in fact, for writing an episode of Doctor Who. I can't really tell you much about it. It's a bit like working on Harry Potter, when everything was very secret, and the same is true of Doctor Who. I can tell you that there are Cybermen in the episode I'm in, and I can tell you that the character I play is 3 foot 6 inches tall, and that's it. But it'll be an episode later on in this new season that's just started in the UK. I don't know. When do you see Doctor Who here? When is Doctor Who on?
None.
Do you keep up with where we are? You don't get that either. You're all deprived over here in France, aren't you? But yeah, I was really proud to be in it. It's really exciting. It's a good episode, good character, and yeah, thank you very much. Good.
Ok, donc oui, il a joué dans Doctor Who, il l'a tourné donc à la fin de l'année dernière. Donc c'était un rêve pour lui, parce que c'est vrai que pour tout acteur, hein, notamment britannique, jouer dans Doctor Who, c'est très important. Mais en revanche, c'est vrai qu'il ne veut pas dire grand-chose sur Doctor Who, c'est comme un peu Harry Potter, c'est-à-dire que tout est secret avant finalement la diffusion, qui devrait avoir lieu cette semaine, mais cette année. Voilà, donc il ne peut pas dire grand-chose, à part que son personnage est tout petit, un peu digitalisé, ben voilà, donc il n'en dit pas plus pour éviter de se faire taper sur les doigts.
Good work. Thank you very much for that. Did you have a question?
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to know if for Life Too Short you watched the work of Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm, which is
yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Larry David. Love Curb Your Enthusiasm, and you know, I've been watching that for years, and before I came up with the idea for Life Too Short, and it might have come a little bit out of that idea of wouldn't it be great to do something like that? What fun that looks, and how great it is, and yeah, to be even able to kind of come close to what Larry does in that is exciting. I mean, I love that show. It's very, very clever. Yeah, much respect to him.
Yeah, I wish you a success for your show.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, no, it's really terrific. The problem with Life Too Short that we have is that Ricky is also, and Stephen, they're both so busy with their own careers and things going on that to write a series of Life Too Short takes about 2 months, and then to film it takes another 2 months, and to edit, you know, so it's before you know 6 months he's used up on doing one thing, and they're doing so many other things. So that's why we recently did a special, just because it only takes a few weeks to write it, a couple of weeks to film, and it's all relatively quick to do. So if it was just me on my own, I think I'd be just keep writing them, but we have to do it together.
Donc oui, Louis Larry, en fait, il le respecte beaucoup, il trouve que tout son travail est très excitant, passionnant et tout. Et c'est vrai, pour revenir sur Life Too Short, comme il dit, la difficulté, c'est que ça prend du temps. En fait, aussi bien Ricky que Steven prennent du temps à écrire, donc ça prend plusieurs semaines, après plusieurs semaines à tourner, donc ce qui fait que finalement il y a un épisode tous les 2 mois, voilà, et que lui, il aurait bien voulu se concentrer un petit peu plus peut-être sur l'écriture, mais c'est comme ça que ça fonctionne avec Ricky et Steven.
Very good. Thank you very much. Yes.
Is there any other TV show, British or American, that you would like to be in at the moment?
That's good. There are some. Let me just try and think what they are.
MasterChef.
What do I like? No, I tell you what, it's too stressful. I did a show in England called Bake Off, which is a very popular show, and I did a special comic relief one for charity. And it's surprising how stressful it is just baking a cake on TV. Yeah, I sort of gone off that idea after that. Any TV shows? What do I like watching? And my daughter wants me to be in Sherlock, the British series Sherlock. Yeah, she loves that show. I mean, I do as well. And I know the producer now because it's the same guy that produces Doctor Who, so I don't know, maybe I could play some sort of villain. That would be good that Sherlock has to kind of foil. So what else do I want to do? I don't know really. Just keep acting. I mean, I love acting. That's what keeps me going. A lot of actors ask me, I want to be an actor. I want to be famous. And I said that's not the right motivation for this. You want to be an actor because you want to entertain people and you love getting up on stage or in front of the camera and performing. That's why you should do it. The sort of fame thing is a byproduct of that. And if you aim to be famous, you won't last very long in this business because there's too much time when you're not working, and you have to love acting to kind of stick with it through those rough times. And I just any opportunity to do anything is what I enjoy. And fingers crossed that there'll be many more opportunities because. I always think of each job that I do as perhaps it's the last job that I do, and then I fully appreciate what I'm doing at that moment, and then when another job does come along, I also am excited and appreciate that as well. I don't think you could ever take anything for granted in this business. I've seen too many actors do that, and then they're sorely disappointed and end up depressed.
Ok. Donc, c'était un petit peu ma blague sur MasterChef ou Top Chef ici. Donc, il est intervenu pour un petit peu de tout ce qui est de charité, des œuvres de charité dans une émission qui s'appelle Bake Off. Pour préparer un gâteau à la télé, et en fait, comme il dit, c'est très stressant de cuisiner, surtout quand on est filmé. Après, pas d'idée spécialement de show qu'il aimerait faire, d'émission télé, mais sa fille Annabelle souhaiterait qu'il intervienne dans la série Sherlock, car il connaît bien le producteur, parce que c'est le même réalisateur que Doctor Who, et il aimerait bien y jouer un méchant. Voilà. Sinon, en fait, ce qu'il veut, c'est continuer à jouer, se retrouver devant la caméra, intervenir sur les scripts, etc., etc. Et surtout, il considère que dès qu'il a un job, c'est peut-être le dernier, comme ça au moins il est ravi, et puis dès qu'il y a une nouvelle expérience, ça repart et il est encore plus content. Voilà.
You next, and we'll come to everyone. Yes.
Pensez-vous faire une apparition dans les futurs Star Wars comme vous l'avez fait pour la menace fantôme?
I think I can try to make this one. Have you been asked to be in episode 7?
Yeah. Or 8 or 9.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. I haven't been asked. I mean, I've been asked about this more times than I can mention, but no, nobody's been in touch yet. As I said, at Star Wars Celebration in Essen, there will be some news about episode 7, so I'm hoping at that point to be able to speak to some important people as well. And remind them that I'm indeed available for acting services of shorter characters. But yeah, who knows? It'd be nice to be back in. I mean, I was in the classic trilogy. I was in the prequels. It'd be nice to be in what are they called? The sequels? I don't know. But it'd be good to at least do a small part, which is my speciality, in one of those. Make sure you get the humour in all of that I just said. We're watching it. I'm listening for laughs. Go.
Ok, donc Star Wars épisode 7, oui, il aimerait bien sûr y être, mais pour l'instant on ne lui a pas demandé, et donc il espère qu'à Star Wars Célébration Europe, excusez-moi, à Essen en Allemagne, il y aura un peu plus d'informations, puisque c'est quand même sponsorisé par Lucasfilm, et donc il espère que peut-être on lui offrira un petit rôle, puisqu'il y a toujours eu des petits rôles dans Star Wars, comme dans le Retour du Jedi et épisode 1, voilà.
Did you say small parts?
I said small parts.
Okay, good. There was a little laugh. It didn't quite go
that's
as
why
well.
because I said small part.
Yeah.
Petit rôle.
You need to work on your delivery.
Okay.
Okay. Up there, yes.
First off, I'm a huge fan of Willow, so thanks for that.
Thank you.
Second, what do you think about Game of Thrones? Have you ever been contacted by the production of the TV show?
No, I haven't. No. In fact, Game of Thrones is not something I've watched. You'd think being an actor in TV, I'd watch a lot of TV. I don't really watch that much TV, to be honest. It's sort of I'm just really busy all the time, and as a family we sit down to watch certain things. Like, of course, I mentioned Sherlock. We'll always time shift Doctor Who. There's certain programs that we'll watch, but. It's not something I've kind of got around to watching. I mean, I admire Peter Dinklage and what he's done there, and he's created an amazing character, and has obviously been acknowledged by awards for that, and I think that's terrific. I mean, I've worked with him actually on the Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian, several years ago, and so I know Peter, and I think he's a terrific actor and does a great job, and. The more short actors are out there doing great work, the more opportunities I think will make themselves available to us as well. So it's all really great.
I totally agree with you on that. And my last question would be, what do you think about the Liam Neeson performance of Life Too Short? Because I just found that super funny, and I just wanted to know if he's as funny as he looked on the video.
Okay. Shall I take that answer and then you can do both of them? Yeah.
Donc I will answer the first one.
Okay, yeah, we'll just answer the first one and I'll get some.
Ok, donc juste pour Game of Thrones, donc non, il n'a pas été contacté par les producteurs et tout, et en plus il connaît mal, c'est vrai, la série, à part quand il en discute avec vous, parce que comme il est très 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 occupé, il n'a pas le temps de regarder la télévision, mais sinon il trouve, comme il connaît Peter Dinklage depuis très longtemps, il trouve que sa prestation est formidable, qu'il a d'ailleurs reçu dernièrement un certain nombre de prix, et donc il trouve qu'il est parfait pour ce rôle. Donc on part sur Liam Neeson maintenant. Correct, Liam?
Yeah, Liam Neeson did a cameo in Life's Too Short, and his persona in that asks to do stand-up comedy, which is the last thing you think Liam Neeson is going to want to do. And it just made for a very, very funny scene, him actually wanting to do these things, but he was asking in such a stern way, the way he would act, for example, in something like Taken, that very focused kind of stern character, and it just contradicted with what he was saying so beautifully that it made it funny. It was funny to shoot. We all laughed a lot, and most of the outtakes on the DVD, I think, consist of us laughing and him laughing as well. About this particular scene. Yeah, he was brilliant, really, really good.
Donc pour Liam Neeson, donc oui, on va parler très très vite. Donc il a adoré bien sûr travailler avec lui parce que c'est quelqu'un finalement très drôle et qui n'a pas l'habitude de faire du stand-up comédie. C'est vrai que c'est pas du tout son rôle et qu'il est assez focalisé sur son métier, et finalement il y a une sorte de décalage qui rendait ça complètement fou et drôle, et donc ils ont pris beaucoup de plaisir à tourner cette scène. Voilà. On va faire 2 questions encore s'il vous plaît. Two more questions.
Okay. So who wants to ask a question, and we'll try and get through them. You do. There was one up there, yeah? Was there? No? You need the toilet. Go here first and we'll go along there, yeah.
Okay. Donc c'est une question qui m'est souvent venue aux oreilles. Faisait-il chaud dans le costume d'Ewok?
Worried about this one.
Was it hot in the Ewok costume.
Have you read that? I always...
Hot, not sexy.
No, I know. It's funny he's asking this because this is the question I always say, that's the question I always get, and I always go at the end of a Q&A that I do, right, let's have the last one, make it a good one, and don't ask me was it hot in an Ewok costume, and he's just done it, I think, without meaning to. But no, the answer is yes, of course. You know, it's like wearing your own personal sauna, you know, and very, very hot. You couldn't see where you were going because the eyes misted up. Just impossible to work in. But the thing for me is that I was only 11 years old, so they used to call me the ever-ready Ewok because it didn't actually affect me at all, the heat. I was just kind of up for more, where all the other Ewoks were sort of passing out all over the place. I was just ready to do more takes.
Donc oui, en effet, il faisait très très chaud. Et en plus, il voyait rien du tout, parce que c'est vrai que les yeux n'étaient pas au même niveau que les siens et tout, donc voilà, mais sinon, non, c'était intéressant. Et puis il aurait voulu finalement que ça dure un peu plus, parce que c'est vrai que c'est quand même, on disait, un petit rôle. Voilà, donc non, c'était une bonne expérience, mais très très chaude. Voilà.
Good. There was another one over here, yes.
Avec toute l'expérience que vous avez eue et tous les rôles différents que vous avez eus, est-ce que parfois dans la vie de tous les jours, donc vos rôles ont pris le dessus sur votre vie de tous les jours? Est-ce que ça lui a fait défaut ou pas? Est-ce que son personnage a des fois rattrapé la personne qu'il est dans la vie de tous les jours?
So you play different character in different movies. Sometimes is your character replaced you in your life?
Imagine if the leprechaun replaced me in real life. No, I mean, I think I'm fairly sort of sane still, that I can differentiate between the characters and me. I mean, sometimes it's fun to play with characters in reality, in situations and things, and it's an interesting question though. I mean, I do often just play with my persona a little bit in when I'm out and about. You know, people expect, this is how Life's Too Short came about, people expect an actor to behave a certain way, to have a certain lifestyle, etc. And so I was playing with that idea, you know, that I was giving them what they expected basically from an actor. You know, some of them can be very kind of egotistical and think they're the best thing in the world, and that's kind of what I was feeding back in that. But you know, I like to think that I'm just a fairly normal sort of person as much as possible. Yeah.
Ok, donc non, il essaie de toute façon déjà, c'est ce qu'il vient de dire, à la fin de rester le plus normal possible, et comme elle a dit, imaginez son personnage de comment, je sais plus comment traduire en français, le léprochaun, voilà, imaginez.
What's the léprochaun? Oh, le léprechaun, sorry.
Donc imaginez un petit peu si ça devait le rattraper dans la vie de tous les jours. Non, voilà, donc non, il a la tête sur les épaules, et puis avec Life Too Short, ça a permis de montrer aux gens un petit peu une autre version plus classique de lui finalement dans la vie, pratiquement dans la vie de tous les jours, sauf qu'il reçoit des personnalités, et c'est un peu ce que les gens attendent d'un acteur, de montrer sous son meilleur visage, profil.
Oui.
Right,
one more. There was one more person, wasn't there? Not up there anymore. Okay, those two then. That's it then. Make it a good one.
Donc une bonne question, hein. Sinon on coupe le métro.
In Life Too Short, you play your own role, and is that very different from the other experiences you had?
Now, playing the Warwick version of Warwick in Life Too Short is exactly the same as any other character that I do. You know, I do treat it as a character. You know, he's very different from me, and I approach it in exactly the same way, in the way that I learn the lines and the way that I perform it. So, you know, I could step into that character at any point when needed, improvising that character. You know, I sort of know him the way I would know the leprechaun's character. Do you see what I mean? So it's exactly the same process.
Donc en fait, que ce soit dans Life Too Short ou tous les films qu'il a pu faire, de toute façon, il travaille totalement de la même façon, à lire les scripts, à travailler et tout, donc il n'y a pas de grande différence sur les deux métiers en fait. Voilà.
Cool. And finally, this gentleman here.
A question about video games. You did some voices with Harry Potter,
yes,
for example, and I wanted to know if you played at home, which games, and if you could tell us 2 or 3 words about your projects.
Okay. Yeah, I've done some video game work. I mean, Harry Potter was one of them, and they're fun experiences because you get to stand in a recording studio, just doing dialogue and voices, and then the sounds that you have to do are things like it'll say on the script, Professor Flitwick jumps off a ledge 1 foot high, to use it all, and then 2 feet high, and it progressively gets more, and then you have to do things where the character is waiting. If the player leaves the game, it goes off to the kitchen or the toilet or whatever, you have to kind of go and sort of be waiting for them. And there's all of these things. I mean, it's really very interesting to be involved with. For my game Pocket Warwick, I recorded many hours of dialogue that goes into the game, just lines and things that I do and say within the games, and that was again an interesting experience. It's now an extension of acting, and as an actor nowadays, you have to look at as many avenues as you can to exploit your performance abilities, and certainly the sort of gaming and more virtual kind of things is certainly, I think, a really interesting area to explore and working more. Have any of you got my game downloaded? I'm just interested. No, you see, it's free. There's no excuse.
Okay. Combien de personnes a l'application Pocket Warwick sur son iPhone? Okay.
It's free.
You don't have an iPhone.
So you have to do it now.
But
So
it is in English.
you have 5 minutes to.
It is in it. Well, Aurélien isn't in the game as well, translating. So sorry, but you need a Wi-Fi network because it's a big old game to download. But Android and iOS as well.
Android. Donc pour lui c'était une expérience formidable, quelque chose de tout à fait nouveau, même s'il avait fait sur Harry Potter, donc là, les voix et les bruitages, voilà, donc passe beaucoup d'heures comme il donnait comme exemple, où quand il doit sauter d'une marche, il fait un certain bruit, de 2 marches, il fait un plus grand bruit, quand il doit quitter en fait la pièce pour aller, comme il dit, à la cuisine ou aux toilettes, il doit faire un truc comme ça, donc c'est assez drôle pour lui parce que c'est totalement original, et c'est vrai que Pocket Warwick, oui, ça l'a vraiment intéressé, c'était beaucoup d'heures d'enregistrement et tout, et vraiment, comme il dit, il faut que vous ayez une bonne connexion Wi-Fi, mais surtout, voilà, vous téléchargez l'application, elle est gratuite et on se marre beaucoup. Voilà, donc allez-y, on vérifiera ce soir. I said that we have to check if tonight the application Pocket Warwick.
Oh yes, I'll be looking at the downloads. If they haven't gone up, you'll all be in trouble.
Si vous n'avez pas, vous aurez des problèmes.
And I just thought that an answer to the question earlier is, are there any sort of things I would still like to do, ambitions? And I think one ambition that question reminded me of is to do a voice for a character in an animation. It would be nice, like a Pixar kind of film. Would be nice to do a voice for something like that, because sitting in a recording studio, kind of creating a character and then seeing that visualised, I imagine is a very satisfying thing for an actor. So yeah, that would be
oui, pour revenir à la question du début peut-être de vous, je ne sais plus, sur quels seraient ses projets, qu'est-ce qu'il aimerait faire et tout, ce qu'il ambitionne, c'est éventuellement de prêter sa voix à un film d'animation type Pixar, etc. Voilà, ça le pencherait pas mal.
That lady's got one more. We're supposed to stop, aren't we? Yeah. We have to stop. Is it a quick one? Or
Yeah, but very quick. Would you prefer to do villain roles or hero roles?
Villain roles. I mean, most actors will say that because they're the ones that you remember as an audience, and they're more fun. They're just, to play as far away from your own personality is actually more fun, just to be extreme. And for me, that was why the Leprechaun was so fun, because he is nothing like me, and it's just a totally different sort of character. And Griphook again in Harry Potter is so different to me, but it's just fun to just play evil, play nasty for a bit, and then be nice again.
Donc la question c'était, est-ce qu'il préfère jouer un méchant ou un gentil ou un héros? Donc il a dit qu'il préfère bien sûr jouer les méchants parce que c'est souvent le personnage dont on se souvient le plus. Voilà, et puis c'est à l'opposé de son caractère, de sa personnalité, donc c'est assez intéressant de pouvoir jouer quelqu'un qui est totalement différent de lui. Voilà.
And then finally, it's been a pleasure to be here at the Toulouse Game Show, and also thank you to the French people for making me feel so welcome. You always do, and I certainly appreciate your love of fantasy films. I mean, you don't find that in many places in the world, but certainly France, they love that genre and it's just nice to be here in such amazing weather as well. So thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
Donc il vous remercie, il est très heureux d'être à Toulouse, sous ce magnifique soleil qu'on n'a pas vu depuis longtemps d'ailleurs, aussi bien en Angleterre qu'à Paris ou à Toulouse, et surtout d'être en France parce qu'il adore, c'est vrai que les fans français, vous ici et tout, parce que c'est vrai qu'en France on aime beaucoup tout ce qui est fantasy, on le voit avec Willow, c'est quelque chose qui est vraiment apprécié, peut-être encore plus que dans d'autres pays, donc il vous remercie infiniment. Thank you.